And the Bill of Rights was written for state citizens. It wasn't written for federal citizens. So you're actually repatriating under the original organic constitution founding documents of our country.
And they will recognize that.
Of course, if they don't recognize it, why would they give you a U.S. passport with a do not detain code on it?
Okay, second question. So if I were to do this, I assume that such contracts as paying taxes or getting a ticket and agreeing to pay or having to have a driver's license, if I were to step into the court of law after I did what you said and repatriate, would the judge recognize my authority, or would he just say, screw you, now pay her one good status?
Okay. Good question. So if you get into any kind of legal kerfuffle and you would have to show up in court, and would the judge recognize your standing? Well, first of all, you're never going to see the inside of a court unless you consent to it, number one. Number two, yes, the judge will recognize it because what we create as a document is a citizenship evidence affidavit. An affidavit, if properly notarized and properly formed and presented to proper authority, is the highest standing form of truth in law. Why? Because anyone trying to rebut whatever your truth is in the affidavit would have to do so under penalty of perjury themselves, sign it personally, and also get it notarized. They're not going to do that. They haven't done that. This particular process has been practiced for over 20 years, and we've had no problem whatsoever.
Can you cite people who have done this and succeeded?
What?
Can you cite anyone who's done this and succeeded?
Can I cite anyone who's done this and succeeded? Well, me. You mean any famous person?
No. Any person, you can go look up a case and see that they went up against the court system and won.
Yeah, look up. No, because here's what happens they bury those cases so that you can't see it, that the public can't see it. It has to be sealed because, they'll come up with some kind of random statute why it has to be sealed, and then you can't see why, this man or woman walked out of the court unscathed and a free man once again. That's, yeah.
But it does occur, I assume.
Of course it occurs, yeah. But we don't see our process. You're not going to have to go to court, because what does the court do? It summons, right? You get a court summons. You summon dead people. You don't summon a real living man or woman. What they're doing is they're summoning your dead legal fiction entity spelled in all capital letters. That's what it is, and you're volunteering to step into the court not knowing really who you are, because we've never been told, never been trained. And so then you become liable for that all caps letter name. And they're creating a security or a surety out of you.
It's a corporation, it's not living.
Yeah, it's not living, it's a corporation.
So if I don't sign the traffic ticket, will they take me to jail because I won't agree to their contract?
Well, no. First of all, if you don't sign a traffic ticket, first of all, again, the traffic ticket is nothing but an offer. It's a contract. Okay, so first thing you do, even if you're not a national, you don't sign your real name. You simply write under duress. Any contract that's under duress is automatically null and void by the signature. So when it gets to the docket that goes to the court, the court clerk that dockets cases, they're going to see, oh, they didn't consent to our contract. We have no jurisdiction to summon them. It's really that simple. But also, one thing I'll say about the cops, and we're trying to educate the cops, as best as we can. Really, we want to talk to the sheriffs. Again, this is a national movement, and some of our fellow nationals have succeeded at getting the sheriff in their county on their side. So now it becomes very interesting, because guess what? Now we can do citizen grand juries under common law. When was the last time you've heard about citizen grand juries? This was the teeth that the founding fathers gave us to overturn any law, state or federal, doesn't matter. A citizen grand jury can overturn any law. Of course, they had to get rid of that, right? But you can only do that under common law. You can't do it under commercial law. Yeah, Michael.
And you can introduce it to a lot of people who've done this.
Oh, I can introduce you to tons of people.
I
Yeah,
think
of course.
Dr. Carrie Madej just did recently.
Dr. Carrie Madej? I don't know. I'd have to find out. And again, there's different processes, and not all are the same, and a lot of them depend on whatever the guru tells you, and you have to trust them. Again, this process, verify everything for yourself. You don't have to trust anyone. Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's still open to
Yeah, we have, last time I checked, we have 3 seats left tomorrow for the workshop.
Also, with your process, can you still be an employee?
Absolutely, yeah. With our process, you can still be an employee. See, all we're doing, guys, is we're stepping out of federal citizenship and go back to state citizenship. That's all that happens. Because now it's your choice to contract with whoever you choose. Now it's up to you. Okay? Now you no longer have to consent to any of the contracts, any of the presentments that they give you. You can choose to and not to, and everyone's different, right? Some nationals, they don't have a driver's license, they don't have a registration, but they own their car. Other nationals, they still have registration, they still have their plates, and they register every year. So it's up to your unique situation. I can't tell you what to do or not to do. I can only show you the door. You're the one who has to walk through it.
If you're saying register to a state, do you have a choice for which states? And if so, would you recommend it? Or does it have to be where you're domiciled? Or does that matter?
So I think the question is, which state would you become a state citizen or a national of when you follow this process?
Like, yeah, do you use the same test domicile?
Mm-hmm.
Or could you choose your own state? Like, would that have...
Oh, can you choose your state of which you become a state citizen? Well, not to my knowledge, but by default, it's where you're born or where you're naturalized in. Okay?
Daniel, can you talk about
Michael.
like when they check your identity, diplomatic ambassadorship, immunity, whatever your...
Yeah. So when they check your identity, it's gonna when they swipe your passport or passport card, it's gonna say "Do not detain" for sure. But we've also seen ambassador at large or diplomatic courier. So some kind of hands-off code, hands off with this man or woman, they are free to go. Okay? Because they don't want to put on your profile, this guy figured out our scam, leave him alone. They don't do that. They just put a code for something that the lower level bureaucrats and law enforcement will recognize. All right, let him go. Yes.
So how does it work with owning a home or land now, or buying land or home after the fact of the change?
Buying land or home after the fact you change it. Before or after. Yeah. Okay. All right. So one thing at a time. So what happens when you already own a home or you have a mortgage, right? And you change your status? Nothing happens because you entered that contract of the mortgage as a U.S. citizen. You can't go back in time and change your status. The contract was signed, and most likely you didn't reserve your rights in the contract either. So that has still standing. So if that were to ever be pulled into court, the presumption is, well, you entered your contract in that legal capacity as a, well, feudal serf, and so therefore it has to be handled that way. But then the next way, then you can update your contract. If you want to change mortgage companies, you could do that. Of course, it's a long process, right? But then if you really want to do that, then you just simply look for a new mortgage company, find a new contract, and then you can attach your affidavit to that new contract. And now if you want, so if you become a national and then you want to buy a home or buy land, again, nothing happens because it's a contract. See, what most people don't get, you have to disconnect your lawful standing with the contracts that you enter. Because the contract, terms and conditions, is like the law in the contract. So the law is within the contract, not without. When you enter into a contract and you don't reserve your rights, there's actually a very simple way to reserve your rights in any contract that you enter into. But if you don't do that, then you are subject to the terms and conditions. It's as easy as checking a box online. Have you noticed that? I agree to the privacy policy and the terms and conditions, right? Boom, there's your signature. That's commercial law. That's how easy it is to get ensnared in these contracts.
Got you.
Okay? All right.
Thank you.
I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniel.
Oh yeah, if you want to find out more, freedomhubs.org or pmaweekly.com. These are both of the websites are on the handout. Again, if you didn't get the handout, just take a picture of it. Thank
Do
you.
you have a Twitter handle or anything you want to share?
I'm not on Twitter, but I'm on Telegram, Odyssey, and BitChute as Solutions Only, please.
Yeah. Solutions only, baby.